The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now 2-0 and made a statement with their thrilling 20-16 victory over the Detroit Lions. Despite missing several key starters and losing Pro Bowl nose tackle Vita Vea during the game, the Bucs fought through adversity and managed to secure the win. Todd Bowles' brilliant game plan and the defense's stellar execution were crucial in limiting the Lions' explosive offense to just 16 points, with several critical stops and key moments. So many players contributed to the Bucs' win. Quarterback Baker Mayfield led the charge, rushing for a team-high 34 yards and scoring a rushing touchdown. Jordan Whitehead, who led the team with 11 tackles, he was a force, recording 2 tackles for loss and combining with Ezian for a huge stop as the Lions threatened late in the fourth quarter. The Lions don't have an elite run defense, but today it was dominant. Rachaad White struggled, managing just 18 yards on 10 carries, while Bucky Irving was slightly better with 22 yards on 7 carries. Surprisingly, Baker Mayfield led the Bucs in rushing with 5 carries for 34 yards and a touchdown, which appeared to be a designed run based on the offensive line pushing downfield early. For some reason, the Bucs still can't seem to figure out how to run effectively behind Tristan Wirfs. The Buccaneers and Lions exchanged field goals in the first quarter, with the Bucs converting 2 on their opening drives and the Lions responding with 1 on their second drive, making the score 6-3 with about 7 minutes left in the quarter. The Lions then put together a drive that stretched into the second quarter, picking up 4 first downs, but the Bucs defense held firm, forcing another field goal to tie the game 6-6 at the start of the second quarter. The Bucs answered right away on their first drive of the second quarter. Chris Godwin took center stage, bringing in 2 passes for first downs before catching a touchdown to extend Tampa Bay's lead to 13-6. Detroit's following drive was lengthy and full of drama, including a fake punt on a 4th down conversion, but the Bucs defense came up with another stop. Tampa Bay had a chance to extend the lead, but Lions defensive back Brian Branch intercepted Baker Mayfield with 1 minute and 51 seconds left on the half. Detroit got the ball back, but a critical error as the clock wound down, having over 12 men on the field during a spike, led to a 10-second runoff, leaving the Lions scoreless before halftime. The Bucs entered the half with a 13-6 lead. The second half opened with the Lions kicking a field goal to cut the Bucs lead to 13-9. Tampa Bay couldn't extend their lead on the next drive, going 3 and out. Detroit took advantage, driving down the field and scoring on a 1-yard touchdown run by David Montgomery to take a 16-13 lead. However, the Bucs responded quickly as Baker Mayfield pulled off an impressive scramble from the 10-yard line, scoring a touchdown at the end of the third quarter to put Tampa Bay back on top. The Bucs secured the 20-16 win, moving to 2-0 on the season. A better start than majority of people outside of Bucs fans thought would happen. This offense has proven itself now back-to-back weeks that they are a top group in the entire NFL. From the start, Chris Godwin was ready for a major role on offense, catching Baker Mayfield's first 2 pass attempts. He remained Mayfield's go-to target throughout the game, especially when Mayfield had to scramble as the pocket collapsed. Godwin's standout moment came in the second quarter when he took a short screen pass and sprinted 41 yards for a touchdown. After recording just 2 touchdowns all of last season, the veteran receiver has already matched that total in just 6 quarters in this year. With Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan not making a big impact in the game, Godwin has seen Cooper Kupp-like usage through the first 2 weeks of the season. That trend continued on Sunday as he hauled in 7 catches for 117 yards and a touchdown. Godwin was in top form on Sunday afternoon, and if he keeps delivering performances like this, he could secure a big contract from the Bucs when he hits free agency this offseason. He was the focal point of Baker Mayfield's early passing success, accounting for the quarterback's first 7 completions, including a 41-yard touchdown grab. After that, Tampa Bay's passing game slowed down, with Mayfield finishing with just 185 yards, but the Buccaneers managed to secure the win. Godwin has already matched his 2 touchdown receptions from last season, amassing 200 receiving yards as the team prepares for Week 3 against the Broncos. Chris Godwin has been the definition of consistency since the Buccaneers selected him in the 3rd round out of Penn State in 2017. Though he started just 7 games in his first 2 seasons, Godwin broke out in 2019 with career-best numbers, 1,333 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns on 86 catches in 14 games, earning his first NFL All-Pro and Pro Bowl nod. In 2020, Godwin missed 4 games due to injuries, but still managed 65 receptions for 840 yards and 7 touchdowns in 12 games. He then played a key role in Tampa Bay's Super Bowl run, posting 16 receptions for 232 yards and a touchdown over 4 playoff games. Entering the 2024 season, Godwin has achieved 3 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons receptions and set a career high with 104 receptions in 2022. While Baker Mayfield didn't replicate his aerial success from previous games, he did what he could against a tough Lions defense. What stood out the most about Mayfield on Sunday was his ability to evade pressure, using his legs to extend plays, move the chains, and limit negative outcomes. He was the Bucs' biggest threat on the ground, showing off his mobility in Motor City with back-to-back 11-yard runs at the end of the third quarter. The second was a designed quarterback draw that ended in a touchdown, though he did face some challenges like Aiden Hutchinson racking up 4.5 sacks and an interception by Brian Branch. Mayfield remained composed in a hostile environment. Despite fewer pass attempts than expected, he was as efficient as the game allowed. As if the Bucs hadn't already been dealing with enough injuries, Vita Vea exited early in the second half with a knee injury and was later seen wearing a brace in the locker room. The injury initially looked concerning, with Vea being ruled out for the remainder of the game fairly quickly. However, there is some positive news. According to NFL Network, Vita Vea is believed to have sustained an MCL sprain, and there's optimism that the injury isn't too severe. He is scheduled for an MRI in Tampa on Monday for further evaluation. It's a tough break for Vea, who had put in significant work this offseason to stay healthy. Suffering an injury on what was a freak play is especially frustrating. Despite Vea's absence, Tampa Bay's defense managed to hold on for the win. Though Detroit found more success on the ground once Vea left, his presence was clearly missed. Injuries have been a recurring theme for the Bucs this season. In week 1, they were already missing defensive tackles Callaway Cansey and Logan Hall, and they also saw some key players like all-pro safety Antoine Winfield Jr. and quarterback Zion McCollum, Bryce Hall, and Josh Hayes suffer injuries during the opener against Washington. As the Bucs aim for a 3-0 start with a win over Denver next Sunday, they'll also be hoping to escape the game without further injury setback. While Todd Bowles' squad has shown resilience, some good news on the injury front would be welcoming with the toughest part of the schedule incoming. The Buccaneers' hard-fought victory over the Detroit Lions was a testament to the team's resilience. The injury to Vea is just the latest in a series of setbacks for the Buccaneers. Despite these challenges, Todd Bowles' team has remained competitive, winning their first 2 games. However, the injury list is becoming a concern, and with the toughest part of their schedule just weeks away, the Bucs will need some positive news on the health front to continue their winning ways. This offense has looked very efficient the last 2 weeks, and Baker Mayfield is playing some of his best football, and he's had some moments in this game where he showed elite pocket movement. He was able to get out of a ton of situations where he could have been sacked, but was able to get more yards, like the back-to-back runs he had that led to him scoring. That was an electric play that is a key example why the Bucs gave him the contract in the offseason. Baker Mayfield is a perfect fit for this system in Tampa, and I really love what they have going on. The defense, when healthy, is a very solid group, and the offense has potential to be a top offense in the entire league. This Bucs team is very capable of being competitive in the NFC and go right back to another playoff run. This was a very monumental win for them, as they could avenge their playoff loss and get the victory over Detroit. That was Baker Mayfield's first win over Jared Goff in his entire career. Like I mentioned, this Bucs offense has a ton of potential. A lot of people did not have the Bucs as a top team in the NFC, but Baker Mayfield is playing like a top quarterback in this league, and the preparation Todd Bowles has done so far has shown that this team can stay competitive throughout the year. If this offense can still compete at a high level throughout the season, and Baker Mayfield can consistently play at a top level, then I see no reasons why this team can't compete in the NFC. It's going to be very interesting to watch this team play out throughout the season, but like I said, I really do love what they have going on in Tampa Bay. If you made it this far and you haven't already, make sure you go down below and you subscribe and you turn on the notification bell so you never miss a Buccaneers video or any video at all. Comment down below what you thought about this game. Let me know what you think the Bucs are going to do this season. Leave a like as well. I greatly do appreciate it, and I'll see y'all in the next one.